Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the Radiant Mind Meditation with Dr. John Gray, the #1 trusted relationship expert, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. What many people don't know is that John Gray spent 9 years as a celibate monk and the personal assistant to the founder of Transcendental Meditation. During this time, he learned powerful meditation practices and techniques, which he has developed and refined for the last 50 years. He now brings us his resonance, wisdom, and energy every week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. on the Soul Search Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Join us every Wednesday. Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Tangela, the founder of Soul Search, and welcome to our weekly Wednesday Radiant Mind Meditation with Dr. John Gray. This is a wonderful way for our whole community around the world to connect in the quantum field and really reach new and higher levels of consciousness together. So welcome, John. Thank you so much for leading this meditation every week. I can really feel the energy every Wednesday as we do this meditation together, and I carry this energy with me throughout the day and throughout the entire week. So thank you so much for doing this with us.
I would love for people who are around the world as well to send Tangela where you're calling from. Because at the end, when we're really expanded and one with the universe, and it's nice to anchor into different places. So that's just to point that one out. That will be good.
Yes, that's wonderful. So definitely put in the chat and Facebook, YouTube. Let us know where, and Instagram, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know how you're feeling and your reactions. And of course, you can tune in with us every week as we do this meditation and share this with your friends and family to also join in. So thanks for being here. And also definitely connect with us because John will be starting his 6-week online relationship mastery class next week on Wednesday, August 14th. You can get more info right here at this link, soulsearch.io, relationship mastery. So stay tuned for that. And that's a way for you to really get this coaching and advice and relationship support from John Gray that I know all of you are looking for. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get started with this Radiant Mind meditation for the week. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Tangela, and welcome everybody. As I've explored in other classes where people can still go to soulsearch.io and you can access, I think we've done 9 meditations before, and there's a little more explanation of the stages of what I do here. But for now, we'll just move through it, and I'll give a brief introduction to our movements. I like to do the movements as well because it just anchors the meditation in almost mindlessly. You just go into the state, but you anchor a certain level of energy with a physical movement, and the movement all the way straight up with your hands up to the heavens. You anchor in at Dear God. And this is opening up the top energy center, the chakra is what's called in the East. So top energy center is Dear God, hands all the way up. And then our hearts are open to you, arms to the side, wide open. Our hearts are open to you. Then bring that energy in with the hands by the shoulders. Then it's so funny, go backwards on the screen. So it's Dear God, my heart is open to you. Please come. And then hands slowly coming together. This is where you set your intention, but you're also feeling the energy field between your hands. When you get really good at it, just in the beginning, it's good not to touch, but just to feel the space in between. There we go. And you can develop this in the beginning by just it's called palpating the space. You can see this. You see how my hands are slowly moving. But you could actually go slower. If you can't feel the energy field, then you just slow it down. Hands slowly coming together. Hands slowly coming apart until you feel a field. Now, we always already have this field. We're just tuning into it. We're so living in what could be called the gross world, the dense world. And what we're bringing is our awareness to the subtle energy field around our body. And so we'll begin again with our hands all the way up, dear God. And by God is whatever your higher intelligence or form you want it to take, or formlessness you want to take, conscience. Many people today are saying universe. The reason why I like to choose God rather than just universe, because there's one way of looking at your higher self is connected to the intelligence of the universe, the conscious intelligence of the universe, the consciousness, the creator, in some sense, or the consciousness. Or if you have a medium through which you achieve that, you go through Christ and Jesus, you can have different saints, whatever works for you. The key to it is something higher than you, your higher intelligence, and always to make it divine, pure, loving, positive. So it's, dear God, our hearts are open to you, arms wide open. Dear God, hands back up. Our hearts are open to you. See, as we slowly move, we're becoming our field, which is about 6 feet, 3 feet in each direction. The length of your arms out in each direction, the length of your arms above your head. So we're sort of mapping out the size of this field around you. See how we can do this. And as you're listening and I'm listening, together we're resonating. So that's the point of having someone in a guided meditation. Recently, I was listening to one of the meditations, and I had a better meditation than when I do it myself. There's something to bring into play with our feminine energy, anchored into our intentional masculine energy, the following along, being guided along, is being receptive. That's our female energy. And then, of course, the intention and the doing of it is our masculine energy. So just being aware of the field, our hands, putting my hands up in the air, dear God, arms wide open, our hearts are open to you, hands coming together. Please come. Then the palms coming closer together slowly. Start to feel your hands waking up energetically. The first part of this is really to open the channels as we pull the energy down. This kind of meditation, we're wanting to activate our fingertips, our palms, and then all the cells of our body to resonate with the divine energy. It's this resonance that allows us to experience the frequency of the all, that we're beginning to resonate with all at a very quantum level, very, very deep, deep level. So now we begin. Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Fill us with your love and your light. Bless us this day with abundance, with happiness, with trust, with love, all the virtues and good qualities of who we are. We ask that they be activated so that throughout the day, those qualities will be reflected in everything we do. With abundance coming to us, happiness coming to us, love coming to us, in whatever way we're open to receive and we need to receive. So, dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Fill us with your love and light. And now the palms out as if you're offering something. And what we're offering is the frequencies. We're basically saying, use these frequencies to fill us with your love and light. If you were at a fire, you could throw some incense into the fire. You could pour some water onto the ground. You could put your hands over a crystal. You could put your hands out towards the water. So let's all just imagine standing on a cliff overlooking the ocean. Use this water to fill us with your love and light. Use this water frequency to send your energy. Use this water frequency to activate our fingertips to receive your energy. And begin noticing your fingertips, each one individually as you go. Maybe start with the right hand first, the little finger, then the ring finger. With a little twitch of that finger, just activate your awareness of that part of your body to receive the divine energy, using the water, standing on the cliff, looking out over the space. Imagine even the sun shining on you, the light, the fire. And breathe in the fresh air. Imagine that. Such a nice scene. Looking out over the blue water, blue sky. The middle finger, the forefinger, index finger, and the thumb. And then the left hand, the little finger, the ring finger, the middle finger, index finger, and the thumb. So using these elements, activate the fingertips to receive the divine energy to fill us with love, light, and happiness. Let it follow us around throughout the day. And then we do a movement, circling of the movement. We could do a big round circling, coming down. So the hands going up and coming down, with the palms down. Symbolic of right now, by your angels. Activate the fingertips using the elements. Fill us with your love and light. So we're combining all of these different levels right now in this moment by your angels or by your healing energy. Activate our fingertips using the different elements as we're looking out over the ocean with your help. And then we put our hands open again, palms open, relaxed. Thank you. Thank you right now, dear God, with your help, by your healing angels, we're receiving your divine energy using the 5 elements. The 5 elements that make up our body to resonate with this divine frequency. And just feel the frequency, the tingling in your palms and your fingertips. For those joining us the first time, you may experience just kind of a warmth, an electric feeling, tingling feeling. If you're more visual, you can just imagine your hands lit up with light. And the tingling increases. And then bring your hands up a little bit, just to shift, we're making a shift in attention. And then bring them back down. Just feel your hands, wiggle your fingers a little bit. It's really happening. You're activating the channels in your hands from your fingertips to your palms. It's the easiest place to turn on the energy because it's how we touch the world, how we feel the world, how we feel others. So we can now feel this frequency, healing frequency. and let it move. We're doing what's called body scan. It's becoming aware of the quantum field that permeates and fills and moves within us all the time, giving us life force energy. We breathe it in and we let it go. And we're going to do a little practice here, breathing as if we're breathing in energy. Certainly we're breathing in through our noses, but we're also going to imagine breathing the energy in through our fingertips, letting it come in all the way to the elbows as we breathe in and exhale. Breathing in through the fingertips and breathing out through the fingertips. As we breathe in, awareness goes to our elbows, and we breathe out like old energy, unused energy, stale, stuck energy. Consciously breathing as we continue this journey of activating all the cells in our body through consciousness, awareness of this sense of tingling energy, vibration. Let the energy come from your palms, through your fingertips, to your elbows. Now up from your elbows to your shoulders. So now you have a sense and awareness of your arms to your fingertips, from your fingertips all the way up to your shoulders. Let it now move. The awareness bringing that sensation of the frequencies to your heart. For some, just imagining the heart lighting up, feeling the frequencies. Healing the heart intelligence, knowing what it needs to do, and with our conscious awareness, we activate it so that we can be in harmony with that energy. We amplify it through putting our attention on it. Now we let our awareness move to our lungs. We breathe in the air as if filling our lungs with light and positive sensation. Breathing in light and love, both through our nose and through our fingertips, up our arms, into our lungs. In some ways, it feels like you're just drawing in the energy, sucking in the energy through a straw, through the fingertips, as you inhale. And travels all the way up the arms, filling up the chest, filling up the lungs. There's a sensation of you're doing it, but actually we're just being aware of an energy flow, which is automatic. All we have to do is notice it with the intention for it to occur. Easy and effortless, just noticing. Tracing from the fingertips to the palms, to your elbows, to your shoulders, to your heart, to your lungs. filling up the whole cavity of your chest, including all the rib cage. Let your awareness move down to the right, to your liver, which is so, so important to produce all kinds of important chemicals in your body, balance your blood sugar, fuel the cells, detoxify the body. Notice the awareness, the energy flowing from the heart down to the lungs, expanding to the chest, down to the right side of the body, to the liver and spleen. I meant to say the liver and the gallbladder. Let this frequency support the liver in doing its job, regulating blood sugar, detoxifying your body. Although we're going at this one step at a time, there's a tendency to want to rush through the whole thing. If we just sat with one organ the whole time, that would be an amazing meditation. We have a movement of scanning through the whole body, but there's no hurry. And the slower we go, the more concrete and real it becomes. Energy activating in the liver, flowing throughout from the fingertips as you breathe in to the elbows, to the shoulders, to the chest, now to the liver and the gallbladder. Liver also is a place we tend to hold our anger. This is a time to just let that dissolve into the frequency, the harmonious frequency of feeling peace. And now let that awareness go to the other side of the body, to the stomach tract that goes from your throat all the way down the left side of your body to the stomach, connecting with the intestines, the pancreas and spleen, all those organs. Just let your awareness go move over to the left side of your body. And feel your belly relaxing, opening up. As the energy flows, flowing to the fingertips, to the elbows, to the shoulders, to the chest, going down to the right side of the body, to the liver, to the left side of the body, to the front side of the left body, to the back side. That whole space, filling up the whole lower portion of your body with light, sensation, with healing, life force energy. Resting in this area is important. Let your awareness kind of focus in on the navel as it holds both the right and left sides of the belly, lights it all up, focusing at the center of the belly, at the navel, the belly button. Energy flowing in your right hand, your left hand, up your shoulder, your whole chest, your ribs, your solar plexus, your full belly, right and left, front and back. letting it go down to the pelvic floor, all the way down to the base of the spine, to your bottom. And from there, down the legs to on the front of the legs, down to the knees. And from the knees down to the ankles. Experiencing the space in your legs. Frequencies vibrating, all the channels of energy, all the cells throughout the whole body vibrating in unison. Like a beautiful chorus singing together, different tones beginning to harmonize. The top part of your body, all the way down to your ankles, the soles of your feet, and then your toes. And then from your toes, back to your ankles, up the back of your legs to the knees, up the back of your thighs, up to the base of the spine, your bottom, and then the base of the spine. Notice the energy flowing down from the base of the spine to the feet, turning around and coming back up to the bottom and the base of the spine. A loop. Let that loop up now. Come up from the base of the spine. We're going to slowly travel all the way up the spine to the top of the head. Starting at 1 or 2 inches. Notice the energy creeping up the spine. Some will have the clear sensation, others just have a sense of your awareness going to that part of your body. Going up another couple of inches. Resting for a moment about 6 inches up from the base of the spine. And now we're going to go another 6 inches or so, creeping up to where we're behind the navel. Now we'll go another 4 or 6 inches up to the solar plexus. As the name implies, solar, sun. Imagine here a radiant ball of light, like the sun. And let the sensation of the free, of the chi energy and life force energy, Holy Spirit for some, let that presence, that energy now be associated with light to whatever degree. You can sense, imagine a light flowing up your spine. to your solar plexus. And let that move up another 4 to 6 inches to the heart center, like a beautiful ball of light in the center of your chest, radiating a feeling of love. As the awareness rests in the center of your chest, feel the sensation up your spine, from the base of the spine up to the heart center, pulling in energy through the fingertips, up the arms, down the body, all the way down to the toes, feet, toes, coming back up the legs to the base of the spine, coming up. Give a little squeeze at the bottom just to get a sense of the groundedness of the base of the spine. And let it begin to rise up again in your awareness, all the way up 6 inches, another 6 inches, another 6 inches, solar plex to light. Then the heart, which is fully felt with emotion of caring and compassion, happiness for others, for someone. Send your love and your light to bless someone, your heart center, or to appreciate and care for someone. Who do you love? Sometimes little children are the easiest to feel this unconditional love flowing out from your heart, radiating out. And let that love expand to other people in your life. With that love, we have positive wishes, wishing well to these people, sending them faith, joy, confidence, success, wishing that for them, celebrating in their success, being happy for others. That's the energy. You're just like drawing it up the straw of the spine, from the base of the spine, all the way up to the heart. And let that energy flow up to the neck. The neck is the center of expression. Imagine saying right now to all the people in your life that you've touched, I forgive you for the ways you've knowingly hurt me, or not knowingly or unknowingly hurt me. Forgive you. And please forgive me for the ways I've knowingly or unknowingly hurt you. And let that message travel infinitely out into the world. Forgive me for the ways I've knowingly or unknowingly hurt you. To all the people. I forgive you for the ways you've knowingly or unknowingly hurt me. Just let it be there at this quantum level. Let it travel everywhere simultaneously. And let that light grow brighter as it goes to your head, to your brain, to the back of your brain. Imagine a bright, bright light. To the forehead, imagining a bright, bright, bright light. As if there's a ball of light in your forehead, a ball of light in the back of your head, and a line connecting it. recharging the brain, healing the brain, youthing the brain, regenerating all the cells of the body with this healing divine energy. Beautiful healing meditation, the whole body filled with light and love. From your forehead, the back of your head, connected together, light. Feel a sense of resonance with all that is. And let that light now go up from the base of your spine straight to the top of your head, while it's crossing from the forehead to the back of the head. A line of light flowing up from the bottom of the spine all the way to the top of the head, across. Filling your head with light and love. Let that energy flow up from the base of the spine all the way to the top, simultaneously from the forehead to the back of the head, back of the head to the front of the head. Rising above the head to form a ball of light, golden white light, showering down over your body. And right now, we're going to zoom in the few minutes left in our meditation. We're feeling our whole body resonating the frequency of divine energy, in the frequency, in the grounded frequency of the crystals and the earth, the water of the oceans, the fire of the sun, the light of the sun, the air that permeates our whole atmosphere, breathing in the spaciousness of the universe, spaciousness of the room that you're in, allowing it to expand out, the house that you're in. And right now, we're going to form a cocoon in our awareness, a golden white light, like sewing a cocoon around your physical body, six feet in all directions, starting 2 feet above the head, 3 feet above the head, and spinning around, weaving around all the way down to the shoulders, weaving around to your chest level, weaving around to your belly level, weaving around to the base of your spine, weaving around all the way down your body as if you're floating in space with your arms out wide. And this cocoon is always already there. We're just weaving it. And as our awareness becomes aware of what's already there, weaving around, tracing around, all the way down to our knees, all the way to our ankles, and 2 to 3 feet below, as if we're floating in space in a cocoon of golden white light. And we call on the divine to fill us more. Fill this cocoon with your divine energy. Let it pour down like rain above us, coming down, filling up this cocoon of light. And as it pours down, it fills up, filling up all the way from the 2 feet below, 3 feet below, filling all the way up to our feet, to our legs, all the way up our spine, to the heart, the shoulders, the head. It's like we're submerged in golden white light, filling up from above. And now we reach out and continue to gather more energy, flowing from the universe, gathering more as we expand out, And as we continue to expand out, incorporate the whole building that we're in, expanding out this whole cocoon of light. We become aware of the cocoon that's bigger than our own that we're a part of, containing the whole city that we're in, the whole state that we're in, the whole country that we're in, and now going to other countries. You can all join with me in America. And as we expand out and include South America, as we cross over, expanding in one direction to Asia, to China, Australia, in the other direction to Europe, Africa, Russia, all spanning out, England, Pole, South Pole. So we are expanding out to the whole planet Earth, like a beautiful jewel floating in the universe. The water planet. We merge into the energy that's one with all of that as we continue to expand out the solar system, including the sun, centered around the sun, all the planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, is expanding out. All the outer reaches of planets, different directions. There's Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, maybe others, expanding out beyond the solar system to vast spaces. We merge into that. And as we're merging outward, this is the feeling we have when we make love. We merge to our partners, merging into oneness. And as we merge, we awaken, and we infuse all the energy of the universe as a part of us, expanding out further. We penetrate into the universe, this solar systems beyond our solar system, always penetrating out and concentrating energy back into us. That sense of self is out there, and all that is out there is in here. Expanding that sense of self. And as we concentrate the energy in and we continue to penetrate out, the feeling of permeating, being everywhere at once, becoming one with that consciousness which permeates all the quantum field. Everything exists simultaneously in our consciousness as a field of energy, a field of potentiality, depending upon what we become conscious of. Expanding out. In a few minutes left in our meditation, we're just going to experience a few higher states of awareness. Let ourselves just dip into permeating through the all. And as we permeate out, we integrate everything as a part of us, within us. And as we permeate out, integrating everything as a part of us, permeating out, holding those two values, we are like a body of light radiating out. Radiating out. That light centered in your forehead, in the center of your head, radiating out, beaming out through the forehead, but in all directions. And there's a sense of radiance shining out, but also integrating everything as part of us. This is the experience of connecting with others and feeling that they're a part of us, that we can relate to that, that what we see in others is in us. And as we integrate it in, we realize we are a reflection of the divine, this body, and all of its infinite complexity. Infinite complexity is but a reflection of the divine intelligence of the infinite universe. We are like a mirror, a drop in an infinite ocean, expressing through us as us in our journey of greater awareness and experience. And in that sea of oneness, we feel that we are one with it and that all is within us. In many spiritual circles, it's the feeling of I am that I am, then I am that I am. I am that I am. This is the experience of embodiment. This is your authentic self, embodying, expressing, being one with all most virtuous qualities, the goodness of who we are, we embody and radiate and express as a mere reflection of the great good. And nearing the end of this journey, we allow ourselves to embody and yet continue to integrate more and more of the divine into our lives on our spiritual journey. The sense of self actually begins to dissolve as we are no longer a point, but we are part of the whole. Feel that dissolving now, a sensation of just dissolving, letting go. This is a feeling of like a sugar cube melting into a vast ocean. Letting go. And as we maintain a sense of embodiment of the whole, we return to source. That which sometimes is felt as behind us, the other self, that's always supporting the little self, returning to source. A beautiful flow of awareness from behind, using this mind to know itself. After returning to source consciousness, we find that as the sense of self dissolves, as we return to that source, there's a sense of emptiness. And in that emptiness is desire, not our personal desire, but a heartfelt desire, a soul desire that motivates us and guides us in life. A desire to be happy, a desire to love, a desire to create, a desire to be and explore our potential, to fulfill our lives. As you feel those pure desires, feel within there the field of all possibilities. And through this desire, you activate the universe to support you in the journey that you are on and continue to be on. And feel grateful. And feel the confidence and the trust. Feel your appreciation. Feel your need for support. And feel gratitude for that. Feel letting go, allowing. Feel a becoming, that all that is to become, your potential is unfolding day by day at the right time in the right place. you're loved and you're in the process of learning to love more. That everything that is coming to be is the result of things you've done in the past and always will be. And as you self-correct through love, you discover that which always already within you, the potential to fulfill your journey and your mission in this world. To feel the sense of wholeness and peace. And when I count to 3, we can all open our eyes, feeling refreshed and ready for the day and feeling a sense of oneness with all. And when I count to 3, you open your eyes and then send a little note, noticing, expressing where you're from and what you're feeling now. Could be feeling at ease, feeling love, feeling peace, feeling joy, feeling comfort, feeling kindness, joyful. What feelings do you share with us now from where you are in the world? So I'll count to 3 now. 1, 2, 3. We open our eyes together and we feel refreshed. And I went a little overtime today, but almost exact. So you might want to stretch, squeeze your hands together, get a little warmth going, put on your face. Hello, 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 all the way around the world and to our neighbors next door. Nice to see you. Tangela will come back on. Hi, Tangela. Have a good experience. There's Wayne from Ethiopia. You know what's fun is when people say they're from different places. I remember being in Ethiopia. I think I've been almost so many places in the world. And in a timelessness state, you can go right to that experience and be way over there and here at the same time. You feel peace. Sometimes when I'm doing the expanding awareness part, I just go to different places that I've been before at different times in my life. And I know some people are just ready to go about your day, but you can say hi from different places. That's good. And we're going to give a little review of what's available for everybody with our Soul Search course coming up. Why don't you tell everybody about that? Pakistan, hi. Go ahead.
Hi, John. Thank you so much for the meditation. I am coming back. That was beautiful. We have a lot of messages coming in. Muhammad Afzal saying hello from Faisalabad, Pakistan. And we have Wayne saying hello from Ethiopia. Miriam coming in, Miriam Mazali. We have a few questions. Oh, and then we have messages from Yoni. Hello, John Mars Venus, gender intelligence coach here from Ventura, California. I feel grounded and tingles. One of your coaches, John, saying hello. Hi, Yoni.
Hi.
And then we have a question from MH. Besides magnesium, what do you recommend for people that can't meditate?
Continue to join with me and follow along and fall asleep if you must. Put on some nice music and just relax as you hear my voice, and you'll gradually resonate with me. And what I do recommend for everyone, I do have one supplement I recommend for meditation, stabilize us. And I don't want to talk too much about the details, but if you go to marsvenus.com, you'll see it at the top of the page. It's something helps regenerate the brain and stabilize our emotions and feelings in harmony with our heart. So that's been my experience at promoting it over 25 years. So you can see that it's called elemental orotates. Certainly magnesium is something everyone can benefit from, of course.
Thanks. We have Carol saying thank you from Pacific Palisades. And Muhammad is asking a question. I was wondering about what state of mind or brain waves are we exploring? Is it a blend of several brain waves? Also, does this type of meditation help increase default mode networks activity?
I'm not familiar with that phrase, default mode networks activity, but If it's something good, it's definitely happening. What we're doing here is from another way of looking at it, although I don't mention it while we're doing it. We're doing a scan from the top energy center through the 7 chakras to the base. Then we're coming back up. Then we're coming back down. Then we're coming back up. Then we're coming back down. And then we're coming back up. So it's like a snake weaving all the way back down, back up. And each stage is one of shifting from the yin and the yang, the yin and the yang, and the up and the down, and the up and the down. It's all a process of integrating automatically all the channels of energy in the body to various degrees that they open up, and they continue to be open, supporting our next step. So that's what we're doing. And certainly there's a whole series of brain waves that we're shifting through. Although I asked someone to measure my brain waves, and it never happened. But I'm curious as well if somebody wants to measure my frequencies as I shift the frequencies from one state to another, because each of those intentions is actually a different frequency. And then, etc. We're using the earth frequency throughout. We can use the water frequency. That's the grounding that we start out with, so that we're bringing the quantum field awareness, consciousness into the body. So all of that benefits our body as opposed to going out of our body. We also exist out of our body in many dimensions. So it's a multi-dimensional meditation.
Definitely. Also, we have a question from MH. Please, what book did you read that explained the human behavior patterns and imperatives at different ages?
Well, I didn't read a book. I just looked at my own life. That's why in my book it went up to 49, because I was doing that book when I was 49. But it is based upon astrology, which talks about the movement of Saturn, of 7-year packages. For example, recently I went through the same kind of dramatic challenge of uncertainty and not knowing exactly what was going to happen. This time with finances, it's all turning out fine, as it always does, but it's a place of uncertainty. 7 years ago, it was healing my wife of cancer, or trying to. She eventually died, but there was a lot of emotional turmoil that I went through at that time. So there's circles of 7 where Saturn sits in certain places. Saturn in your chart, Saturn is the planet of authority, where you have different levels of taking back authority in your life. In the first 7 years of your life, your authority is your parents. Then you begin to expand out, having more self-authority as you connect to others and seeing themselves, etc. As I explain that in my book, How to Get What You Want, What You Have. Because a big part of success is well-being at all times, basically finding well-being, because you're going to attract into your life what you're putting out into the world. It comes to meet you. A reflection of what's inside of you occurs outside of you to various degrees. And when you're particularly in one of those age groups, soul age groups, your primary need is romantic love. And think of them like buckets of love. And as you're filling up with romantic love, you'll get to the top. It's feeling, oh, feels so good, it feels so good. At a certain point, it stops feeling good because the tank is full. Just like if you're hungry and you're eating, oh, food tastes so good, and then it doesn't. At that, you're just causing stuffing, and it doesn't have the same fulfilling experience. Well, when a tank is filled up, what then happens is your awareness will shift to other tanks that are not full. And so I learned that when I was not feeling happy or as fulfilled in my intimate relationship, I would shift to one of the other love tanks, which is loving oneself, which is self-sufficiency. Or I would go take a class and learn something, read a book, watch a YouTube video of instruction, of something that's interesting to me, of learning, measuring my skills, developing. It's more my teenage self. Or I would go off and have fun and do something playful. That's my childlike self. Or I would go all the way back to the part of me that as a love tank, where we need to have someone who knows more than us to be a role model or to be a guide or to help us. These are all like spinning plates. if, I'm splitting my relationship plate and then I have to go back and the other plates are wobbling. So I'm trying to keep them all wobbling all the way up to like 12 or 16 plates every 7 years. There's another level of personal responsibility that we take on. Now in my 70s, it's all about, is it in the womb? It's about God does everything for us. We do nothing. It's automatic. As we get older, more and more, we're now doing God's work on this planet. But you still have to take care of all the needs. Those plates have to keep spinning.
John, Carolyn is saying, thank you, John. It's a blessing for us that you are so accessible to connect to. Tuning in from Los Angeles.
Thanks for joining us.
And Miranda's asking, did you say you were selling some nutritional aids on your site? And yes, you are. I'm going to just pull up the website here. Find out more about John Gray's supplements, you can visit marsvenus.com. And John, if you'd like to say a little bit more about the supplements.
It's all explained there. I will briefly say, since it come up twice, there's an ingredient that everybody needs to know, which is, it's called lithium. It's a magic mineral, in that when we eat our carbohydrate diet, or whenever we have our extreme ups or downs, what happens is the brain runs out of lithium. And we have such a addictive type lifestyle with sugar and excitement and the high stimulation of cell phones and TVs. Addiction. Anytime you have addiction, you're depleting yourself of the mineral lithium, and it has cofactors with it. So there's a form of microdosing lithium, which is completely legal. It's legal anywhere in the world. It's just only in America can you buy it, because we have a strong natural foods industry, and there's never been a bad side effect with it. It gets confused with something psychiatrists will recommend, which is called lithium carbonate. This is lithium orotate. Lithium carbonate is given for people with extreme mood disorder, and they take 500 times the dose. And whenever you take 500 times the dose of anything good, you will die. You don't die with lithium, but you would have side effects. It would disturb your metabolism. But speaking of metabolism, I know that you're now following my program, which is, I say my program is just because I'm recommending it, but it's Dr. Arciero has discovered something called protein pacing, and then nutritional fasting, intermediate fasting. My whole experience was feeling very proud of myself doing intermittent fasting, where you don't eat but once a day or sometimes twice a day in a small window of hours. In the beginning, I lost the belly fat. Now, belly fat is very important for both men and women, because with excess belly fat, it interferes with the healthy production of female hormones for women. It interferes with testosterone production in men. And all my work now is about learning behavioral hacks in order to create hormonal balance in the body, which can sustain romantic love, health in the body. You have much greater chance of doing that just simply by being married. We now know the research is that married couples live longer and they're healthier. And I go into my other talks that I give all the hormones associated with marriage, as opposed to being single. And not that everybody has to get married, and not that everybody has to live as long as I'm going to live, but it's your choice. It's a matter of fulfilling our potential. I shifted now to reading that, and then my mind just has to go back to what I was just talking about, which is the importance of losing belly fat. So that's my latest thing, which is being inspired by Dr. Arciero, who talks about peer-reviewed studies, and there are only peer-reviewed studies of weight loss programs that actually work, where you burn fat, so you lose weight, but you gain muscle mass. Now, how can that be if you're going on a diet and you gain muscle mass without exercise, and you get rid of pounds of fat? And for me, I remember when I did it, I was getting close to my belly fat, putting me in the range of heart disease. It was 40 inches around the waist if I just let my belly expand. Well, I lost 2.5 to 3 inches in less than a month, and it stayed off. So this is the key, which is without following any diet plan. I'm sure if I was to eat a lot of carbohydrate, it would begin to expand a little bit, and then I'll do the protein pacing again to maintain that. But unlike other diets, you lose your metabolism when you eat less food. In this case, you eat more food, a specific food. It's incubated protein, incubated whey protein. What that means is that you take the whey protein with particular enzymes already put into it. Now, this was discovered by a Nobel Prize winner for that discovery, that adding these enzymes will break down proteins and pull the amino acids out. And when you pull the amino acids out, they're responsible for all functions in the body, all functions of the body. There's not just the brain chemistry, but your digestion, your blood sugar regulation, everything about health is regulated by amino acids. Fat is a fuel, but primarily your amino acids. And also fat is used by the brain and so forth. But the using up of fat produces health. And you can burn your fat to produce health and at the same time build muscle mass by absorbing almost 10 times, or at least 5 times more of the amino acids from your protein if you incubate it. Incubation is you take the protein powder, particularly high concentrated, 35 grams, 2 times a day or 3 times a day, you take this 35 grams of protein, which is a lot of protein, folks, if you're not knowing what that means. You can never get that eating steaks or vegetables or anything. So you take the protein and then you put it in hot water where it activates the enzymes, 100 degrees, warm water. And this whole procedure we explain. Tangela is helping to explain this for people. She's doing it. And if you want more information on this, but what you do is you just incubate it, and the result is 91 to 95% of the amino acids are released and utilized by the body. If you eat normal proteins, you're getting between 10 and 25% of the amino acids are being released, and the rest is toxic byproduct that your kidneys have to get rid of. So generally speaking, you can't eat that much protein without hurting your kidneys to a certain extent. And this way you get incubated protein. You just drink these shakes along with eating a couple of meals a day. If you want to fast, you eat 1 meal a day and 2 shakes. If you want to go faster, you start your day with a shake. I already had my shake, and then I incubated for 45 minutes. I made it last night. I wake up, I drink it. So you're never hungry during the day. As long as you're never hungry, but you're not eating all the time. You 4 hours apart, 4 or 5 hours apart, 4 or 5 hours apart. And you have these shakes, or you have lunch, or you have dinner. And even before bed, an hour before bed, you take the shakes again. You wake up in the morning, you lost a pound. Okay, it's amazing. Eating more, building muscle mass, increasing your metabolism, increasing your energy, balancing your hormones. Because what I found that the most important biohack for your hormone balancing at any age is this protein pacing. And you do that for like 5 days, building up your metabolism. And then you go for 2 days with liquid protein. Every 2 hours, you have a little liquid protein, and that could be bone broth, that could be snacks, like a jerky or something like that. And then you don't have a full meal, and you don't get hungry at all because you're constantly taking the bone broth, certain healing drinks you can take, which are good for cellular cleansing. So that's a program that we help coach people through, and we tell you the products that we're using. If you can find other products, you can use those, but it's the one I like. And you can go to marsvenus.com, and the very bottom of the page, you say, contact us, and contact me, and somebody will call you up and explain the program to you if you'd like to do it. So I'm offering that to people. Unfortunately, a lot of people are calling from Ethiopia, the Middle East. We don't provide it there, but it is all the way available in Europe and, of course, Canada, United States, and Australia and so forth. So a lot of places these products exist where you can quickly utilize the program. You may be able to make adaptations if you can find the enzymes and the protein shakes and so forth. That's up for you to do. But I think this is just amazing, which is why I want to share it with everybody. Because people ask me, how do we get these hormones in balance, which is all my work now, is not femininity in men, increasing the femininity in women. That's by changing, manipulating, stimulating the right hormones in your body through activities. everybody's doing biohacks, taking supplements. I'm not against that in any way, but I keep trying to go as natural as possible so that our life is what's generating the hormones. And that's through love, through relationships and self-love that we're able to find this balance of fulfillment.
And Carolyn is asking, where can we purchase this protein powder? And Carolyn, I did put in right here this link. It's a bit.ly link. It's a short link, bit.ly John Health. So if you go there, you will see the protein powder that you can purchase for the program that John is talking about. And if you have questions about, this protocol that John has been describing, you can connect with us through marsvenus.com or just DM us on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. So definitely for those of you interested in the shake, the protein powder, you can go to bit.ly John Health to learn more about that. And Carolyn is saying, can't wait to try it. I'm in menopause taking hormones, but I'm pretty wigged out still.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best thing for menopause. It's the best thing at any age because it balances hormones. And you don't want, once you're going through menopause, it's the reason symptoms can be, quote, wigged out, if we use that, is it's due to adrenal stress prior to menopause. You see, once you're going in menopause, your adrenal glands are now responsible for making your estrogen and your progesterone. Prior before that, you had your ovaries doing it. You had your female ability to make babies, so to speak, was making your estrogen. Now it has to shift. And if your adrenal glands are exhausted, then it's hard to make that shift. And so this is a way to help you find that balance very, very quickly. And when we're talking the fastest way to find that balance that I've seen in my experience. And most people know that who follow some of my books that back 25 years ago when I was, or 23 years ago when I was turning 50, I had early stage Parkinson's. It runs in my family. My sister died of Alzheimer's at 60 years old. I mean, a lot of challenges there. And so I began studying amino acid therapy and learning how to get amino acids so the brain could start making the right amount of dopamine, serotonin, and a variety of other brain chemicals. You have to have these amino acids necessary. And then I started helping a lot of people with Parkinson's, and it was taking up too much of my time. But then there's another doctor, Dr. Hinz, Hinz, online, who has a protocol and has over 300 doctors using his all natural protocol. And then a few years later, it was working so well, they went in and they retracted his studies. So they'll say retracted because he started selling the supplements. People ask him, well, how do we get these supplements you're asking for? He started selling them online. And then as soon as you have making a business out of what you studied, then they say, oh, you don't count. So he doesn't count. But go in there and read the study. It's quite encouraging. And actually the same supplements that he describes, it's all about just getting these amino acids. And what better to help your body just make those amino acids from protein rather than have to take those amino acids. For me, it was getting IV drips in the beginning. It would last 3 months, but it would come back until I learned how to extract the amino acids out of protein more efficiently so that my brain could heal itself. And we have to all be conscious of this because I keep hearing more and more studies of particularly women who are vulnerable to dementia. 80% of dementia people are women. And it's 1 out of 2 people over 80. If you live to 80, you're going to live on with dementia. Half the people right now, and it's only going to get worse. So not only do we want to take care of our brain with amino acid therapy, our food that's rich in amino acids, but we want to get married. Because if you're married, you have also a much less risk of any of these problems, and that's now proven. But sometimes people say, well, you say married people are healthier and they live longer according to statistics. That must be the good marriages. And no, it's all marriages averaged out because there's certain qualities of just sticking to it instead of just following your own fears and emotional upsets to end relationships. Just the fact that you have that commitment is something that's very powerful and produces a different set of hormones. that I talk about in my upcoming book on romance, love, and longevity.
Thanks, John. And so, messages from Yoni is saying, ladies, I stand by the lithium orotate for women. It took away my brain fog, helps with insomnia, and helped the depression I was in because of a temporary disability. I've been taking it for 3 months. Wow. And then Miranda is asking, you used to have a big wellness department on your website a few years ago. Then it disappeared. Is it back now?
No, I handed it off to everybody else. I'm too big of a target. People were suing me for giving advice and class action suits when there was never any problem. It's just there's lawyers out there that love to come and start a lawsuit, and they think I have deep pockets, and therefore I don't want to waste the time. And so there's other people teaching that stuff, but no one does the lithium orotate like me. So I kept that on my website, and I don't make any claims about it other than you'll feel really good. Although the science shows, lithium itself is a mineral that known to regenerate brain cells. Put in a petri dish and brain cells multiply, have children. So just that in itself. But experientially, if you have brain fog, if you have ups and downs, they tend to even out. It doesn't flatten you out in any way. We're talking about microdoses here, 5 to 10 milligrams of the lithium itself every day. There's no possibility of a negative side effect. Never has been one reported. So if you go online, you look at lithium, the medical industry, they just don't want you to take it. So they'll talk about lithium carbonate, which has toxic side effects because you have to take it in huge doses to get a benefit, toxic doses. So there's that.
And Muhammad is saying, looking forward to next Wednesday's meditation and your insights in spiritual sciences, relationships, and wellness, which is wonderful.
Let me say something that's going on at my house with my wife.
Oh, yes.
She used to have difficulty falling asleep. She just has me guide her in the meditation, and she's out like a light. And you could just put on these meditation tapes that we're providing for everybody through these talks. Find your favorite one. I'd say my favorite one was not last week, but the week before. I don't know what number that is, but there's this one, the one before, and the one before.
That's number 9.
Number 9. What is it? The Beatles, number 9. But they're all good. They're all good. Today was really good for just body scanning. I mean, it's just so healthy. But as soon as we turn those on, or as soon as I start doing it, I'll guide her. She falls right to sleep. So I tried listening. I listened to number 9. Probably they're all good, but I just listened to number 9, and I had a better experience than when I give these meditations. So it was pretty profound.
Yeah, you can definitely get into it. And Muhammad is asking, John, are you familiar with the work of Dr. Jeffrey Thompson from Carlsbad, California? I suggest you reach out to him if you're interested in mapping out your meditations and associated brain waves. He's the founder of the Center for Neuroacoustic Research.
Great.
I think he's actually been part of our expos in Carlsbad before. So maybe we can get both of you together. John.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds great. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Muhammad. And so just to remind everyone, we have these weekly meditations every Wednesday, which we definitely want you all to stay tuned into. But remember that we are starting John Gray's 6-week online relationship mastery class. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus for the modern world on Wednesday, August 14th. So you can register right here below, soulsearch.io, relationship mastery. It's going to be a 6-week online class. If you can't attend live because of your time zone, the replays will be available. You can watch the replays. And what is amazing about this class is, one, John never does online classes. So that's going to be a new endeavor for him, which is exciting. And he's going to be answering your personal questions. So prior to the class, as well as during the class, you can email us your questions, chat us your questions, and then we'll be submitting those to John. And John will be getting to the questions that he can. So definitely for those of you who have your relationship questions that you would like to bring to the class, this is, definitely sign up. It's at soulsearch.io, relationship mastery. We're starting on August 14th. And if you sign up now, you can actually send in your top 3 relationship questions to John in advance so that he can take a look at those and be prepared to answer some of your questions beforehand. So anything else you'd like to say about that, John?
Well, you said it very nicely. I won't be able to answer every question, but you kind of take a theme that will be most helpful for everybody. Recently I read a book called Breathe. I want everybody to know it's a fantastic book. It's a really fun read. But in there, one of the major focal points is that uh, if we do mouth breathing while we sleep, we're shortening our lives. We're also being vulnerable to blood sugar problems, to diabetes, just by breathing through our mouths, snoring in the night. You can get an app, for example, that will record overnight. If you make a snore, it will turn on and record it so you can know how much snoring you're doing. But basically, if you're snoring out loud, it's not good for you. And there's fixes for that, which are actually putting a little tape over your mouth, or there's all kinds of things you can order online that make it more difficult for you to open your mouth and mouth breathe. But we need to retrain ourselves to breathe through our nose, not through our mouths. It's very, very important. It's so significant. And another thing, which I just want to share, which is so funny because I'm really into everyone losing their belly fat. You can go on, he talks about in his book, you can also just go online, do a Google search for the science of where does the fat go? Because literally it disappears on your body. You're building muscle and you're losing fat at the same time. And why do you want to get rid of that fat? Okay, because it does inhibit it is a hormone disruptor in your body if you're not burning fat. If you're burning it, it helps promote the production of hormones, but it grows on the inside of the body around organs and kind of suffocates them and increases your risk of sickness. During the COVID thing, almost everybody who died from COVID, first of all, they went to a hospital. That didn't help much. Just keep that in mind, that all those people who died in a hospital. Either it was from the kidney disease of the first medicine they gave them, or it was from the incubators. Not the incubators, but the ventilators. From the ventilators. It was like if you went to the hospital, you died. That was it. That's where you got so many deaths, A. But B, the majority of them were obese. Okay, if you're overly weight, your immune system's going to be compromised. And so this is just good sense for all of us to be healthy, and not just to be healthy, be happy and fulfilled. We want to get rid of that excess shedding of excess fat and building up of muscle mass. There's also some wonderful books, Brain Foods, and the research on brain and avoiding dementia. It's all about making sure you maintain your metabolism, and your metabolism maintained by not letting your muscles go away. You don't have to have big muscles. Everybody doesn't have big muscles. So it's not a matter of building up your muscles. It's a matter of not losing your muscles. And most people lose muscle mass as we get older, as we put on fat. So we can reverse that process very easily, according to Dr. Arciero's program, who's got 3 peer-reviewed studies proving this works for everybody who does the program, which is, you just amp up your protein through this process that we're talking about, incubating it. And in his book and his study, he doesn't talk about the incubation process. So it still works, even by just increasing the protein to these high levels of, around 150 grams of protein. That doesn't mean much to people, but most people are never, ever getting that. So that's what allows your metabolism to speed up. I did an experiment yesterday because now I have this new metabolism that I lost for years of doing intermittent fasting, and really pigged out on a lot of food just to see if it would change my weight, and it didn't. That was really cool, but it stabilizes. First, you want to keep getting back to your ideal weight. Now I'm at my ideal weight, and having been there, I still love doing the protein in the morning before bed, because then I'm not eating snacks. That was my problem. I stay up late reading books or watching TV, the news programs. I want to eat these snacks, get really hungry at night, never get hungry. And I also get to drink the shake, which is like no sugar in it, yet it tastes like ice cream. It starts out with sugar, then you incubate it, all the sugar is used up in the incubation product. So your brain starts to experience freedom from a sugar addiction, which is profound. And in my new book that's coming up, it's learning how to be free of our sex addiction. For those who have sex addiction, others have no sex at all, how to find the balance of the two. And it turns out to be that when you only have sex, when you have sex with someone you're in a committed, loving relationship, your body makes a hormone called prolactin that inhibits sexual desire for others or for your partner. But your partner, the desire for your partner will continue to occur and grow if you maintain polarity. So it's not like you're, these horny guys walking around all the time having sex with themselves and with porn and all that. That's very, very addictive. But when you have sex, to break that addiction, you have sex only with someone that you love. And then when you have that sex, your body will make prolactin. Prolactin inhibits your sex drive completely unless you're in love, you're committed, and there's polarity. So that's where all of these biohacks that I teach in my classes that we do. We'll be doing that in the Relationship Mastery class. I'll be teaching the biohacks in terms of behaviors that I haven't taught in any book. Part of them I've taught in my other books, but I haven't yet written that book. Probably after I've done with several of these relationship mastery classes, I'll write a book. I like to test everything out first for years, and then I write a book on it. So that book's not there yet. So you're getting it right from the horse's mouth.
Which is amazing. So for those of you guys who are tuning in, definitely join us on the 6-week online relationship mastery class. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus for the modern world. You'll be getting a lot of tips and tools and hacks like the ones you're hearing here from Dr. John Gray. And, Christian Thompson had commented, I listened to wooden pirate ships on the ocean sounds sometimes when I cannot sleep. Great. And also, you guys can listen to the Radiant Mind meditation replays. They're all available at soulsearch.io. Radiant Mind right below. So, like John suggested, tune in. You can go back and listen to this one or any of the others. Some of my favorite ones are actually going in and, feeling different energies and releasing them and going through a whole healing process. And messages from Yoni saying, come join the class. I'll be there too. Would love to see all of you there. Amazing. We're excited to see you there. And hopefully a lot of our meditation community, you all will be there with us to really support us in up-leveling our relationships. And Miranda has a question. John, I know you may not have time to go into this right now, but I just wanted to share. I experienced deep trauma with a relationship with a man who turned out to have NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. The trauma had a very destructive effect on my body. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, the trauma of being with someone who's unresponsive to you, to your needs and so forth, tends to be a repetition of your childhood trauma of growing up. Otherwise, you're not attracted to someone like that. We do have these magnetic forces, which we have in our lives, not to traumatize us, but to create trauma so that we can heal our past. And even not only healing our past, but healing our parents' past and 7 generations back. So the more clean and clear we are in present time, the more we'll be bringing in things from the past to heal. And this then helps 7 generations forward to not have the family trauma be passed on. So yeah, we'll be definitely exploring the whole concept of one of the whole sessions is all on how you heal these wounds. And one of the aspects of healing that trauma can go one direction, which is keeping your heart closed because it's too painful to open up. And finally, when you do open up, you tend to be more codependent. Codependent people, already there must be a part of you that gives more than you get. This is just the dynamic of a codependent person tends to be attracted to a narcissistic person. And narcissistic people, codependent people are drawn to them because codependent people make other people's needs more important than their own. And a narcissist makes their needs more important than somebody else's. And if you feel even now that your partner is a bit narcissistic, usually it's women thinking about their husbands who don't feel. will help. We have such powerful hacks to help awaken his capacity to feel. Generally speaking, women can make 20 times more estrogen than a man. Women need to make 10 times more estrogen than a man just to feel happy. And it's through making a woman happier that a man's own estrogen levels can go to levels that he can never experience alone. This is why men will get married within a few years after a breakup, because they really depend on women to awaken their heart. Women can have their heart open through children, through gardening, through friendship, through um, spirituality. All these things help raise estrogen in women, never as high as what intimate, committed relationship can do. That's like the one of the highest things you can have. Doesn't mean everybody's going to have it. Not everybody's going to be an Olympic swimmer. So, but we can still be happy in our lives without it. But what I do is teach people the potential which is there to experience the highest happiness we can experience on this planet, to help fulfill our journey or fulfill our destiny. And maybe not everybody's going to have that, but they can get close to that. But I teach them how to have that. And it takes courage, it takes knowledge, it takes new skill, and it's available to everybody. And it's part of every person's destiny to have a soulmate that you can work things through.
Beautiful. And so, guys, if you are ready to take this dive in with John Gray, I know I am. I'm excited about the course. 6-week online relationship mastery class. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus for the modern world, starting August 14th. It's going to be available online on Soul Search TV. And you can sign up below at soulsearch.io, relationship mastery. And for those of you in the Bay Area here in California, John Gray will be live with us on August 10th at the Soul Search Dublin, California Enlightenment Expo. So you can register below at soulsearch.io Dublin Expo and come meet John in person at Dublin this weekend on Saturday. And otherwise, if you are not available to come meet him there, or even if you are, you're going to want to come to our online class starting next week on August 14th. So we're looking forward to seeing you all there. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing all of you back here on Wednesday morning. Tune in to the meditation replays and let us know how you feel next week.
And the Dublin class that I teach, we do put that online. How do people watch that online? So people around the world can be there with me in Dublin when I'm doing that.
Exactly. That's great. Thanks, John. So also that's true. We actually live stream John's class. So his class is going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday, August 10th at the Soul Search Dublin Enlightenment Expo. And we actually live stream that both on the Soul Search YouTube and on the Soul Search Facebook pages. So you can watch those and we'll have the replays available as well. Those are amazing classes, very deep dive. John goes into romance, love, and longevity for the modern world and gives you a sneak preview on what we'll be covering in the class as well. So either join us live in Dublin if you can this weekend on Saturday. Otherwise, you can watch the class live on YouTube and on Facebook. So tune in for that. It's going to be amazing. And Carolyn is commenting, Ashley Madison, the dating site for married people, has 85 million subscribers. Yikes.
Well, I will say from what I've heard, a lot of them are fake, particularly the women. They just made it up, So women are not as active as the men on that site for sure. But and I have to say also, I know people have gone on. I've never gone on, but people have gone on that site just out of curiosity. They just want to know what's going on. But infidelity is a thing. It's happening. It's the result of boredom in relationships. The boredom of not experiencing the passion. And in our class, I have these basic biohacks that can restore passion literally back to what it was in the beginning of a relationship. It's just to be able to practice them and do them correctly, you need a body of knowledge and a cooperation from your partner. And a lot of them are initiated by women, and there's not a man I've ever met that's not willing to cooperate 100%. It's just getting the women to do these things because often women feel I already do so much. Why do I have to do more? It's not much at all. It's just learning how to ask for particular kinds of support. And women often have a obstacle to ask. They feel like if he loves me, I shouldn't have to ask. And that's one of the skills of being an adult, is learning how to ask for what you want, and then learning to ask in a way that works with men, and what a man can do to provide the kind of support that women need. It's amazing how quickly couples can adjust to this. And it's not for everybody. I also have a personal session, and I do personal counseling. And it's interesting today. I've had the first time I've had couples not following through after a few sessions with me. and it was actually the first time I didn't want to do sessions with someone. They were just so completely unwilling to follow my instructions. Because it's not just about talking about your feelings, it's about understanding your mistakes, understanding how to do things differently, how to be accountable. And some people just don't want to look at themselves as part of the problem. So that's why I don't even take questions in any of my talks at Dublin or any of the soul search talks. I take questions. I only take questions for people who pay a little money and they're committed to being there. And the Dublin things, these are free. Online things are free. So I don't answer questions. But when somebody is willing to put down, it doesn't cost a lot. What is our class, our 6-week online class? What does it cost for people?
It's $96. So that's, we're just giving it away basically.
But to me, it's a matter of people putting a commitment, because the universal law is you only can receive more if you give more. So that's why it's always, the idea is you give and you will receive. Now, the challenge for women is the correct interpretation of the word give. For women with men in an intimate relationship, what you're giving is the opportunity for a man to be successful in loving you, not giving him love and support and all that. That's automatic. What you give for a man is give him the opportunity to be successful in giving you what you need. And that has a lot to do with forgiveness, acceptance, understanding, and asking for what you want. This is a whole new way of looking at it. And why is it a new way of looking? Because what I hear is when women are unhappy in marriage and relationships, they always feel, I give and give and give, and I don't give back. Well, what are you giving? You're giving your affection, your time, your interest, your acts of service, encouragement, all these kind of things women are giving. And they're kind of feeling, what am I getting back? Well, you haven't been giving him the opportunity to give to you by learning new skills of how to motivate men. And women often feel, we'll cover this in the class, why do men need to be motivated? Women don't need to be motivated. But see, women are too motivated. And we can actually go into the brain science of that. There's real brain differences. Just have to do with how much muscle mass you have versus how much fat mass you have. Men at the end of the day have very little motivation. And the only way to get them going is you have to learn how to ask, and how to ask at the right time, and what you can ask for, what you can't ask for. And what I point out is when you follow my instructions, what you're going to get is something that will support your happiness more than you could ever know, because you don't know what you don't know. And that has to do with growing up in families where you didn't see your father doing this stuff. And not only is it your father never did this stuff, I recommend, because it's a notch above and much easier. But the tragedy today is 60% of men and women grow up in families today, which the father is absent, which means you don't get to see the potential of what a man can provide for you. And you don't see how a mother can create that. So what you have is a single mother who's has the highest stress levels on the planet are single mothers. And that's just the reality today. That we are designed, if you're going to make a baby, you make a baby with a man. And it takes a man and a woman to raise a child. It doesn't take a community. Now, the saying, it takes a village. No, it doesn't take a village. It takes a village to support a man and a woman raising a child. But it takes a man and a woman to raise the child. takes a man and a woman to make a baby. We've lost that in our culture. We want school teachers to do it. We want our government to do it. This is wrong. The children need their parents, and their parents' values integrate into the child, not the school teachers, not the governments. We need to protect our children from the influences out there because they're not so positive.
So Miranda is asking, how long is each class?
Oh, it's I think when we wrote about it, we said I was going to talk for an hour and a half and then question and answers, but I'm deciding now just to give an hour talk so that we have more of my applying what we're talking about to people's questions. So
Exactly.
we have questions in advance that I take into consideration in my talks. However, and we have the talks basically laid out,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to create time during the class for people to send in questions so that I can see what people are needing to hear, how to apply it. And that's really where the rubber meets the road. Is it when I give talks, I know what goes on inside of people. There's a sense of, well, you said this, but how do I do this? My husband's this, or my wife doesn't do this, or whatever. And our brain just invents all these objections to it. Yes, but, yes, but, yes, but. And I have an answer to every yes, but. Uh, and the biggest yes, but is when I'm talking about men and women differences is, of course, women saying, well, I feel like I'm the man, he's the woman. Well, that's the whole point of this class, is we're all moving into a role reversal where men becoming more feminized, women becoming overly masculine. How can you not have to give up for women the power of your masculinity, but become more feminine? And for men to learn how to not have to give up the happiness and the joy and the love of being on your female side, but also be strong and detached and goal oriented and successful. How to have both those things together. It's finding this balance, which I think is really one of the highest teachings ever on this planet. Not that I'm the only one teaching this, but it's the integration of the masculine and feminine in our practical life. If you go into the ancient traditions and religions, it's always about bringing together the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang. In many traditions, it's the masculine and feminine aspects of God. And people today say, oh, let's talk about the divine masculine, the divine feminine. I go, no, just talk about masculine. The masculine is divine. That feminine is divine. This what we call toxic masculinity is not. It's toxic people, not women, not men, not just men. There's toxic women, there's toxic men, but then masculinity is that aspect of us. And the feminine side of us is an aspect of us. And what we want to do is keep it in the right order, in the right balance, according to our hormones that reflect that energy in our bodies. And, all that we see today, which is the anxieties, the depressions, the upsets, the anger, the problems in marriage, the divorces, the lack of libido, the violence, all of that stuff can only occur when your hormones are out of balance. Just to know that. Now, of course, it's mindset, it's behaviors that put the hormones in balance. So it's not like you can just get an injection of estrogen, an injection of testosterone. That doesn't work at all. When a man gets injections of testosterone, it usually converts into estrogen. And when a man has too much estrogen, that's road rage, actually. And so taking the hormones is not the answer. And sometimes for women, this whole hormone replacement, which has been so big, will create short-term benefits for some, but not for all. When really we can really focus on our behaviors and our relationships. This book right here, which is a lot of the ideas we'll be looking at, is the Beyond Mars and Venus. I highly recommend everybody start reading this for the class and for your life. It's the first book which explores that the primary source or stimulation of hormonal balance is our relationships. So it's a mindset within relationships, but it's through interacting with others. You can have the perfect cancer cure if one was to exist, but live in a room with no windows and no people, you'll still die. We feed on the energy of relationships. And one of the people at your expos that people go to, the Soul Search expos, there's always a lady there, a man there, who does the human design. I really like the human design. People can look into that. You need to know your birth date and time you're born, or approximate time you're born, for it to happen. but you see your kind of energetic design of why you're drawn to certain people, why you're not drawn to others, why we as human beings, our energy field is incomplete, and we need to merge in various ways with other energy fields for us to feel complete. For my wife, we learned human design. And for me, if I was ever in a bad mood, and she wanted me to change it quickly, she'd just say, "Oh, honey, would you go to the grocery store and get some cauliflower? Or would you go pick up this for me?" And I say, "Sure." And as soon as I go into a field of other people, then suddenly my heart opens more, and so forth. Because for me, and for most men, I will just say, for the heart to open, you need to be in the field of women. And for women, for their heart to open, they need to be in the field of men for their heart to open more. And if you have blocks, certainly you'll feel those blocks. And then we have tools which we'll explore in the class. So when your blocks to love come up, then how do you remove through that? And from one point of view, that is the most profound aspect of my work, which is emotional processing, which when I ask people, are you processing your emotion? They have no idea, so I can't take for granted anybody knows. What it means is to emotionally process means not to suppress, not to express to people and upset them, but within yourself to know when you're upset, what emotions are there, what other emotions are in your subconscious, what other emotions are in your most primitive awareness. Become aware of those emotions, and just the consciousness going into that depth causes the transformation of negative emotions always into positive intention, positive desire, with gratitude, happiness, and confidence. So this is the procedure people can learn in 20 minutes. Something could be upsetting you to a great extent. You can change how you feel before having to change the outer world that's making you feel that way. See, most of us think, oh, somebody's bothering me, some situation, no money here, can't do this, I'm lonely. I got to go out and solve the problem out in the outer world before I can change how I feel. We have the ability, if somebody teaches us and we practice, to change how we feel if it's negative to positive, and then go out in the world, and the world will reflect that positivity more through your intelligent actions. It's not like it just all changes automatically, like, some magical thinking people have, which is just change inside, everything changes outside. No, change inside, then change your behavior, and everything changes outside.
Exactly. So John, people can actually do that practice with you in one of your previous meditations. So if you guys go back and take a look, I think it was week 3 or week
2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Week 2 or 3. I think both of them, you actually did this practice, and it was really powerful. So definitely, you guys, check that meditation out. And of course, join the 6-week online relationship mastery class. I see Carolyn was asking, is there a spiritual dating website you recommend for a 63-year-old? And I'm sure John will be going into during his class on different techniques that we can all go through to have more success on the dating websites.
But I don't know a spiritual dating site we'll recommend. But we will talk about finding your soulmate. We'll talk about finding the right person for you. And I have a lot of thoughts and suggestions on that. So I look forward to having you there, Carolyn.
Exactly, Carolyn. And she says, thank you again for your invaluable advice today. Thank you so much for tuning in, Carolyn, and for everyone who's tuned in. And we look forward to seeing all of you next week, next Wednesday, for the Radiant Mind meditation, and also for our online relationship mastery class. You can sign up just below, soulsearch.io, relationship mastery. And John, thank you so much for all of your energy, wisdom, and guidance for all of us. We're excited to continue with you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'll see you next Wednesday. We'll have another wonderful meditation.
Wonderful. Thanks, John. And thanks all. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the Radiant Mind meditation with Dr. John Gray, the #1 trusted relationship expert, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. What many people don't know is that John Gray spent 9 years as a celibate monk and the personal assistant to the founder of Transcendental Meditation. During this time, he learned powerful meditation practices and techniques, which he has developed and refined for the last 50 years. He now brings us his resonance, wisdom, and energy every week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. on the Soul Search Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Join us every Wednesday.